Welcome everybody to our monthly customer training webinar. This is the July edition, getting it in just towards the end of the month here. Let's get going. This is me, Matthew. It's probably about time I got a new headshot. Sean is on the line as well. Hey, Sean.
How's it going? I probably need a new picture as well.
Yes. Every couple of years, it's time to update things. So as we always do, we are recording today's webinar. We will share it out with everyone afterwards, and please use the Q&A button in the Zoom control panel to ask your questions. If we see them pop in, we'll answer them as we go. We'll definitely take a moment at the end to answer any questions that you have. That being said, today's format's pretty straightforward. We're going to talk about new features for Snap, the buying platform, and superlatives. Let's go. It's actually probably going to be a pretty quick webinar today. You'll be able to get right back to work. So we'll kick things off with Snap. And the first thing we want to talk about here is some new intelligent lead routing that we have built. What we found was this works best for dealerships that have at least 5 or more rooftops under their banner there. And what we found is that the current functionality still works really, really well, but it asks the user to like, hey, choose which dealership you want to work with. So they put their name, their email, phone, and which dealership do you want to work with? Well, in their mind, they may not know. They may not know who's closest. They don't want to hop away from the form and think about it. They may not, in their mind, want to work with anybody. So what we've done now is we've given users the option, just enter in their zip code, and then we will route based upon that zip code to the nearest location that's a part of the group. If there is a matching brand, so if they're trading in a Jeep and you have a Jeep dealership, we will look to see if it's in that zip code, and we will route it to the closest zip code and then to that brand as well. So it's a step up in functionality. It makes things easier and simpler for the user. And Sean, from your side, how does someone get this type of thing turned on?
So it's just a simple email to support. We do generally ask that you send us, if they're individual URLs for your rooftops, if you could send us those as well as your CRM or ADF address, any lead addresses you have. That way we have all that information and we can set it up pretty easily for you.
There you go. We've also launched a new integration. This is with dealer.com. We have fully utilized their API to be able to do a handful of things. The first one, which if you're a TradePending customer, most like you are, if you're on this call, it makes it a lot faster for us to implement and install and configure Snap on the dealer's website. So that's great. But the real exciting thing here is that it makes adding a value your trade button super simple. It's now a part of our default installation for dealer.com sites. We're adding that value trade button in your CTA stack on your SRP and your VDP. And we're going to hop over here and take a quick look at it here, what it looks like on mobile, my kind of hacked together version here of it. So you can see here on this Mike Maroon Chevrolet site, you've got the value trade banner up here up top. And when you scroll past that, that's essentially it. That call to action is now gone unless you have a value your trade button in the call to action stack. And so you can see it popping in right down here. It functions just like you would expect it to. And we're going to work with them to get that treatment a little bit bigger so it's easier to see here. The reason this is important and the reason why we have implemented this to make it the default installation now is because we're seeing really, really positive results when you include this value your trade button in the call to action stack there, anywhere from 10 to 20% more leads every single month by having that in there. It can be very, very significant because there it is, like call to action there, and you scroll past it, it's gone. And if you don't have it appearing here, then you're going to lose out on that opportunity. There's also an element to here. You have to be cautious. Like if you have 80 buttons in your call to action stack here, then that's too much. So you might want to find a way to incorporate it elegantly. And Sean, from your side there, what do you guys need to get that enabled?
So generally, it's just as long as you're on the dealer.com platform, it's pretty straightforward. Sometimes what will happen is we actually add in the second CTA button. If you already have one in there, we will work with dealer.com on your behalf. We may need you to reply to an email to say approved, pretty simple, just to get that duplicate removed. If you are using a different website provider, it's a little bit more work. Generally, we need to make sure that we work with your contact if you have one, or we'll just work with their general support, for example, Dealer Inspire, and they just have to add a little bit of extra coding on their side to make sure that it works.
That's right. And the more success we see with this, the more we'll be working with the other website providers to have this added so that we can just make it a default installation. Next up, so we do have some really exciting things coming for Snap in August. We have the ability for dealers to see which VINs, which cars a customer is looking at before they submit their information for the market report. So it's really going to make those conversations with customers for your sales and BDC teams just a lot more informed and valuable. So we'll have more to share about that, along with some really, really powerful and valuable new features in terms of being able to have customers verify their phone number, verify their email in order to receive the market report or receive their trade evaluation, as well as the ability to share those reports out either with themselves or with others, or for dealers to be able to you guys to be able to log in and just run a report for somebody and email it to them right there on the spot. So that'll make things really easy, and we'll have that to share for you guys in depth in our August training webinar. So stay tuned for that. All right, so next up, one interesting and very really great new feature for the buying platform. And quick refresh, Snap is it's our website conversion tool. It gives consumers a range. The buying platform is our solution for a single price offer. And we're seeing some really, really great adoption, even though it's a very early product. And the reason is because it allows dealers to create their own questions to ask customers to get to that single price offer and to customize those deductions based upon those answers. So you can have, just a handful, 6 or 7 questions to get to a single price offer, or you can have 20, right, to get a more refined number. If you want to be really aggressive, you want to play conservative, whatever your market demands, you can really work the system here to make it return back the values that you need it to, so that it reflects your buying strategy and the market reality. It also allows you to essentially take this process in store and walk consumers through it, say like, yes, here's how you answered the questions, and we took a look at the car, and here's how we rate it. One of the very first steps in that process is basically getting their vehicle information. And so in the TradePending app, you can type in their VIN, you can type in their plate, but what we've added here is the ability to scan to really make that process for dealers super fast and easy. So we're using optical content recognition, OCR, to bring in that information. And I'll give you kind of a demo of it here on mobile. Let's hop out here real quick. So I'm logged in to the TradePending app as if I'm a dealer. You can see here's the drop down things you would normally expect to see, and I'm just in the buying platform section. And because I'm in the mobile view here, I've got this little camera icon that appears here. If I'm on my phone, I'm going to hit that. It's going to open up my camera. I'm going to get right up on that plate or right up on that VIN, take the photo. There you go. You can see how it works here. I'm going to open up my plate there. It's going to think about it. It's going to read the numbers. There you go. And now I can hit get VIN, and shazam, there's my old Jeep. So pretty slick functionality there. And Sean, I don't think there's anything in terms of just configuration from your side that you guys need to do. That's just a new feature that we launched. Is that right?
That is correct. There shouldn't be anything that support has to get involved on that one.
Wonderful. All right, next up here, we have implemented a new design option for superlatives. And we'll walk through a live example here. So currently, you can see this is the treatment here, or when you're looking at a VDP or SRP, this is what the badge looks like currently. And our new option, what we really are going for here is a little bit of a design refresh, but now you can see how this vehicle awards looks really clickable. And this question mark here, like, what is this, right? So as a consumer, I'm going to be more inclined to click this. I'm going to get more engagement. I'm going to learn more about this car. I'm going to understand that there's more value about this car, or that it's more urgent for me to come in here. And you can see how it's rendering right here on this page. When they click through to that, this is the current treatment right here, and the new option right here. A little bit more stylized, a little bit cleaner of a look. They both still work great. And I think I've got one more example here, and let me actually hop out here and show you what it's looking like on a live site here. So here we are, Woodgrove Chrysler, and you can see here, here's my award-winning vehicle, award winner, one of a kind. It's one available regionally. I click on that. And now I've got down here. Yep, we looked at all these vehicles in your area, and I've got this nice clean look. Yep, here's this one vehicle and 50 miles there. So as a consumer, like, well, there's only one of these around. This is my option. I better come and get it. And so this is a new option. This is not something we're turning on default. Is that right, Sean?
That is correct. This is something you'd have to just email support and say, hey, I'm looking to update to the superlatives new look. And then if you're referring to the what we call the more info section, the new one is referred to as the vertical report. So if you just ask for that, we'll know what you mean.
All right. So as always, if you need some help, email support, call support, chat in with support, and tell them you're looking for the new superlatives template and the vertical report there. We've also launched a new case study. If you haven't seen it yet, it's really interesting. We were working with a dealer and they decided to test out just using their digital retailing solution to capture trade-in leads. And we crunched the data with them. We went back to them, and lo and behold, they saw their lead volume actually just absolutely tank. And that's because there's different tools for different needs on your website. Snap is very much a website conversion tool. It is designed to move people through the funnel, capture the information, get them valuable information about their trade-in. But it's not a digital retailing tool. Consequently, digital retailing tools are not really designed for high volume, high capacity website conversion. It's serving a different type of person at a different stage in the buying process. So you absolutely need both. And this case study explores the data behind that and the results we saw. Check that one out. It'll be in the link when we share out the PDF later. All right. And as we've done the past 4 or 5 webinars, if you made it this far and you want to claim your own wobbly bird, this is Peep, our mascot. We'll ship it out. It comes in this handy, snappy little box as well too. You get one put on your desk. Also been spotted in the first episode of the 2nd season of Ted Lasso. See if you can find it. Sean, is there anything else we need to cover today, or do we hit it all?
I think that was all of it.
All right. If there's any questions, we'll give a moment for those. All right, everybody, you have our contact information here. You can always email support at TradePending. Reach out to us with any questions, and we'll share out the webinar tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Take care.